Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen, and I am so happy that you have found your way to me, whether you are here for the first time or whether you are coming back. I truly appreciate it, and I hope that you are all doing very well. Now, before we get into any of the piles, I just quickly want to put a disclaimer out there. So I don't usually say this because I don't know, just with picker cards, I don't find the need to usually say it, but I do feel that I need to emphasize this point for picker card readings as well, as I understand that it's very easy to forget this aspect as you're watching this picker card reading because it may feel a bit more personalized, but this is still a general reading, okay guys? Please don't forget that this is not a personal reading. So there are hundreds of you watching, hopefully hundreds of you watching, and there are only 4 piles, okay? So if you are watching a certain pile and the messages that are coming through are not applicable to your current circumstances, then it's not that there's something wrong with the pile, it's that it's not your reading, and that's absolutely fine. You know, there may be someone else out there who may really need the message and who may need this message way more than you do, right? Sometimes there are other people who are in a more desperate need, okay, as kind of harsh as that sounds. So please always remember that, okay? If you are watching a pile and you feel like this is not really talking to you, this is not speaking about your current circumstances, that is absolutely fine. You can just go ahead and pick another pile, or if you don't want to keep watching, that's absolutely fine too. You know, not everyone resonates with every reader. And I absolutely understand that. There are hundreds of amazing, super talented readers here on YouTube. There are plenty for you to choose from. I do hope that you are going to stick with me and that you do find something from my readings that resonate with you. But if not, then, you know, the main thing is that you get the messages that you need to hear and that really resonate with you. So yeah, I just really wanted to put that out there. Please don't try and force anything to fit if it doesn't really feel like it is talking about your circumstances. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind, okay? Sometimes Spirit has a mind of their own, even if I try to keep these readings kind of more organized or structured. Sometimes the message kind of takes off and goes in a whole different way. But having said that, let's actually get into our piles today. We have these amazing, beautiful 4 piles in front of us. We have pile number 1 with the raw Carnelian. We have pile number 2 with raw Fluorite. We have pile number 3 with raw Apophyllite. Well, I don't think it's raw. I think that's how Apophyllite looks like. But yeah, all of the other stones are raw. And finally, for pile number 4, we have rose quartz, okay? So if you know exactly what kind of pile you are called to watch, then go ahead, click the timestamp, and I will see you in the reading. But if you are kind of unsure about which pile to go with or how you should go about choosing, then I would recommend going off of your first gut reaction, which pile kind of feels like it is your pile, like it's really pulling you in. You may have more than one. That is absolutely normal. That is absolutely fine. And you may watch several if you want to, because some messages, like there may be different messages that come through for you because we're looking at hidden gifts. There may be more than like the ones coming through from one pile for you, if that makes sense. So yeah, don't worry about like watching several piles, that's absolutely fine. But in general, it tends to be the case that there is one pile which kind of resonates the strongest. And then there may be some tidbits from other piles as well. But anyway, it's up to you. If you are not really feeling like this intuitive pull towards any single pile, then I also recommend kind of going off of the stone. That's why I like to attach those to each pile, because sometimes it helps people choose. If you don't really feel called to any of the stones either, you can also go off of the numbers. So if you like number 1, or if you like the sound of number 4, you know, go off of the number if that's something that helps you. Because I honestly believe that there is something from every pile, that whatever pile you choose, there is something, even if it's one keyword, even if it's one sentence, that will help you in some way, or that would be beneficial to you in some way. But of course, again, if you feel like it's not resonating, then just go ahead and choose another pile. That is absolutely fine. Okay? Okay, so yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave you here to choose. Take your time. You can meditate on the piles. You can pause the video if you want to, whatever you want to do. But whenever you are ready, then just go ahead and find the timestamp and jump to the reading, and I will see you in a bit over there. Hello, pile number 1. You guys chose the Carnelian stone. It is a beautiful, gorgeous stone full of fire. So yeah, very excited to do this reading for you. We are going to start off with this little card over here. Now, this is going to give us a bit of insight into who you are as a person, or what you're like as a person, I should say. What are some of your characteristics or personality traits that kind of speak about you as a person? So this is going to give us a really good indication of what we are dealing with here. And also it will give you the chance to kind of discern for yourself whether this pile is truly the right pile for you, okay? So this is kind of the first screening process that we're doing. If all of these keywords that I'm talking about, or at least most of them, feel like they are describing you, then this is a very, very good, like a thumbs up from Spirit saying that this is your pile, and just go ahead and keep watching as we delve into your hidden gifts. But if you feel that this is not really sounding like you, then just go ahead and choose another pile. That is absolutely okay. Okay? So yeah, let's see what kind of person you are. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay, this is crazy. We have elephant. And it's funny that like I don't really like think beforehand what I'm going to say about the stones or how I'm going to describe the gemstones, right? And like their characteristics. I don't really think about that. I just kind of let it come out in the moment, as I do with pretty much all of my readings. So it's crazy that the fieriness of Carnelian was the kind of the first thing that came to me, because you are coming through as the elephant, and this is representing the fire element, and it's really, really cool. But let's look at you here now. Let's look at you a bit more closely. So what I can tell about you, pile number 1, you may be someone who kind of follows their own path. You may be someone who is wise beyond their years. You may have a lot of people kind of come up to you and ask you for your advice, ask you for your input, even if they are older in years than you, because you just have this kind of quality about you where you know things that you maybe shouldn't know. Or I'm not sure if that came off in the best way, but it's almost like you know things and you can't really explain how you know them. There is just this very wise, very experienced aura about you. Again, it doesn't even have to be that you are, you know, experienced in years. You may be a very young person in years, but it's almost like your soul has been through a lot. Your soul has experienced many, 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 many lifetimes, and you have gathered a lot of knowledge during those lifetimes. Or even if you don't really resonate with like old souls and reincarnation and that kind of thing, then I just get the sense that during this lifetime, however long or short this lifetime has been for you up to this point, you have experienced a lot. But I feel like everything that you have gone through, everything that has happened to you has taught you something. And you have kind of used that as fuel, used that as kind of ammunition for when you are moving forward for future events. And you are using that to help you deal with anything that may come up for you in the future. I kind of feel like you are this person or this kind of individual who doesn't really complain a lot. Like, I get that you're more of a warrior or more of a, like a soldier almost, or that you kind of have those same kind of qualities where you don't really get into self-pity or wallowing or getting into like emotional dumps. It's more like you just get on with things. Like, and I'm not saying that you don't feel things very deeply, because I feel that you do, but it's just that you don't let those feelings get you down. You, again, as I said, it's like you use those to fuel your movement forward. You use those to fuel your progress. You may actually be like, I think it's claircognizant. You may also be like clairsentient, but I also feel that you are a claircognizant. And what that means is that you, again, you know things. It's just kind of like, it's almost like this information just pops into your head and you don't really know how you know it. Like, there's no rational way to explain how you know the things that you know, but it's like the information just plops into your head out of thin air and you just know. So you may have answers or you may have solutions to like the most complex, the most puzzling things, where it's like other people are trying to like come up with some kind of solution or some kind of answer to a problem. They don't really know how to handle it. And you come in and it's like you look at this problem and you just know it, just like it kind of just makes sense to you. It just comes to you naturally and you can't explain it to other people. You can't even make sense of it yourself, how you know. So for some of you, I definitely feel that you could be claircognizant. But as I said, like a little bit of clairsentience comes through as well. And that is the ability to sense things, to feel things. But I'm also getting the essence that you know things. I feel like you are someone who like has a lot of patience, but up to a certain point, it's like you are very patient and very understanding for a long time, but then like everyone has the like breaking point, right? Everyone has the point where they crack, and I feel like when you do crack, it's like all hell breaks loose. I kind of get this vibe that you are someone who has a very calm demeanor most of the time, that you're very rational, you're very practical and calm, and again, because you're so wise, because you kind of just know things, right? And you inspire people with your wisdom and with your like worldly knowledge, or I don't know whether that's the right term to use, but I just feel like you have a very broad spectrum somehow, or you're very like, how should I say? You may be someone who's very well read as well. That just came to me. But anyway, it's like either you have traveled a lot, or you have studied a lot, or you have just like having a very wide spectrum of knowledge. Let's just say it like that. You're very intelligent, but you're also very knowledgeable. And I feel like most of the time that's what you are like. But then if someone pushes you, if there is some kind of aggressor around you, I feel like you will just lose your shit. Like once the camel's back breaks, like there's just like, it's this full explosion. I feel like there's no real holding back. That's kind of the essence that I'm getting. But again, I do feel that it's very like in very extreme cases that happens, because most of the time I feel like you can't be bothered. It's like, it's not important enough for you to get into things, because again, there is this very, again, really wise, really experienced, very mature energy about you, that you just know exactly when to get into a fight and when not to. Like you're very good at discerning that. So you don't just like waste your energy, you don't waste your breath in hopeless or pointless cases. So you just move on. Again, you kind of use that to fuel your growth and your progress toward the future. And you don't get stuck in these like little things. You don't get stuck in the nitty-gritty that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So again, very fiery energy coming through here, but it's like very controlled fire is what I'm getting. yeah, it's almost like a combination of earth and fire is kind of what I'm getting. So you may have like earth or fire signs in your birth chart that they may be very prominent for you. So if you are a fire sign or have a lot of fire in your chart, then those would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Or if you have more of this earthy quality as well, then those are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. But okay, basically, I know I've spent a lot of time describing what you are like as a person, but a lot came through. So if you are resonating with this part, then you will know for sure that this is your pile, and we are going to get into your hidden talents and gifts next and find out what those are. Okay, so we have these 4 tarot cards over here, and we are going to look at what are your hidden gifts. We have the 4 of Blades. We have the 2 of Coins in reverse. Okay. We have the 8 of Wands. Here comes the fire. And we have the Knight of Coins. Okay. So it's interesting that you're getting 2 Coins cards. Again, that earth energy. And then we're having some air and we're having some fire. The first thing that I'm kind of getting here is that you may be someone who has a very calming presence for other people, who has a very reassuring presence for other people. So I feel like one of your hidden gifts is like reducing the stress levels of other people. I don't know whether people have actually told you this, but from the looks of it, it's like you would be an absolutely amazing therapist or consultant or like psychologist or something like that. Just someone who supports other people, who helps other people through their problems. I feel like you're really, really good at that. But at the same time, I also kind of feel like you are someone who is very good at staying calm in stressful situations yourself, or like risk management, or risk management is something that kind of is coming through. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of telling you what comes up as it does. So please take the parts that you do resonate with and leave everything else. But I do kind of get the sense that there is something like humanitarian about you, or you would do really, really well in like assisting other people, helping other people, supporting other people. Now, whether or not you want to do that, that is up to you. That is a whole different topic, but that's just what's coming through. That you have this amazing, calming and grounding presence for others, where again, it's like when things are going haywire, when people are losing their shit, when they are stressing out about whatever is happening in their lives, when they don't really find, or when they can't find a solution, or they don't know a way out, it's like you see it so clearly, and it's like it just hits you. You just know exactly what to do, what to say, what the best way to go about something would be. This is kind of related to what we were talking about before, where you have a very like calming and stress reducing presence about you. But there is also I'm also getting the sense that you're very good at communicating, whether you realize it or not. But there is like this magical way of communicating with you, where again, it's like you always know the right thing to say to get what it is that you want, or to make someone understand you in the way that you want to be understood, or helping someone realize something that they may not see themselves. There is something about communicating. I'm also getting the sense that it's not just that you are good at like talking to other people and verbally expressing yourself, but I also get that the more important aspect of communicating, which is listening, is something that you're really good at as well. It's like, even though you have a lot of wisdom and a lot of like wise words that you could share, I'm getting the sense that you're not a smart ass. You're not someone who just goes off and like blabs to anyone who would listen, right? And like trying to show everyone how smart you are and how intelligent you are. It's like you're not trying to show any of that off. So again, it's like you're very, very good at listening. You're very good at actually hearing what people are telling you. And that's actually the thing that makes you so good at communicating. Because you really know how to listen and you really know how to pay attention. You're not just consumed with the necessity to kind of make yourself heard or to spread your wisdom to everyone, right? Even though you could, I don't feel like you're doing that. I also feel like you're really good at getting what it is that you want. If you are after some kind of goal, if you are after some kind of achievement or anything that you are trying to gain, then once you like set your eye on something, there is no stopping you. Like you will get there no matter how long it takes. Again, I feel that you are kind of good at this, at the whole patience thing. I feel like you're better at it than other people, because it's like, you know that like rushing is not going to make you get there in a better way. You're kind of relentless. Like I kind of feel like you are relentless at getting what it is that you want. So I feel like you're really good at anything kind of long term, anything that is looking into the future and preparing for the future. Like you're really good at like estimating things or predicting things or just like thinking ahead and strategizing for the future. So you might be really good with like money or finances or numbers in general. Like you know what the best moves to make are, the most profitable, the most beneficial. I don't know why, but the word like investment keeps popping up in my head. As I'm looking at this Knight of Coins, I'm kind of getting the sense that you may be like someone who is really good at making sound investments, who again is like able to discern what is a good investment and what is not a good investment, and kind of like trusting yourself in that. For some of you, it could be that people are actually turning to you for like financial advice or something like that. But yeah, I'm kind of like, the main thing really that I'm getting here is that you are a very good listener, a very good conversationalist. Again, you might not think that it is like a big deal or anything like that, or you might kind of take it for granted. But I feel like it's truly a gift. Like you are way more advanced in it than other people. And you may not realize how much you can actually do with your ability to hear other people, to really like listen to what they're saying and like have this really beneficial and constructive and efficient communication with them. I'm also kind of getting that you would be a really good mentor. So as I was saying, with like the therapy thing and all of that, and just being like a support person or support mechanism for other people, I also feel that you would be a really, really, really good mentor. That's just something to bear in mind, especially if you haven't quite figured out what you want to do for a living or what your like true passion would be. Then I hope that maybe some of these things that came through sparked something in you. But we have to keep moving forward, because I know I'm taking such a long time, and I apologize, but again, the messages come through as they do. So next we're going to look at a couple of archetypal energies, and they are going to show us the two strongest archetypes that you have. One of them is something that you may be aware of, but the other one is something that you are most likely not aware of. So let's see, what are the strongest archetypes in you? Oh, Aletheia or Aletheia. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce these, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering anything. And oh, the comic. Okay, wow. Yeah, so I'm getting the sense that everything I was talking about, like communicating and sharing your wisdom and guiding other people and all of that, it might be something that you are very well aware of based on this Aletheia or Aletheia card. I'm not exactly sure how to, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering anything, because this archetype is all about like the truth, seeing the truth of the matter, being able to discern things, being able to distinguish and again, like make sense of things. I feel like that is something that is very, very prominent in you. And again, it's like you want to share that knowledge with others so that they could improve their lives and make sense of things for themselves as well. But I'm actually way more interested in the comic, because I feel like this archetype is something that we've already kind of been talking about quite thoroughly. But the comic is the archetype that you're not really aware of, that is strongly prominent or strongly present in you. And with the comic, I'm getting the sense that, first of all, you may feel that you are more of a pragmatic, a rational, logical person, but I feel like you don't really even realize how much of how funny you are, and how, again, like how lighthearted your energy is, or how lighthearted you can help other people feel, how much you truly support them just by being you, just by speaking the way you do, just by having the sense of humor that you have. I feel like you may not realize how much that actually helps other people. That may be a very strong part of your kind of calming aura, or the soothing presence that you have that we were talking about before. Your ability to kind of like relieve stress may come from the fact that you're very good at like easing tensions and making the atmosphere in a room way more like comfortable, way more mellow. You may have a very good like ability, or you may have a very strong ability to kind of take the edge off of things, especially if they are more like complex, or if they're more stressful, if they're more challenging circumstances. You may be someone who is very easily able to make people feel more at ease. But the one thing that is concerning me through all of this is that the comic archetype also talks about the hidden emotions that are behind this strong facade, the emotional flow that is happening inside, internally, that no one else gets to see, because you are so busy with making other people feel more comfortable, making other people feel better, making other people feel more assured. In the midst of that, you may be forgetting about your own needs at times. So I feel like this archetype has come out for a very specific reason, to let you know that, you know, it's amazing what you are doing, and it's amazing like the kind of person that you are. It's like you seem to have so many really, really great qualities, but there is also the danger of forgetting about your own, like what you yourself need. Maybe there is support that other people could give to you. You know, you don't always have to be the rock. You don't always have to be the support system for others. Other people can be the support system for you too. And it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness to be vulnerable. And I feel like it may be something that you are having a very hard time letting out or expressing or showing to other people, because it's like you have so distinctly taking on this role of being the strong one, being the wise one, being the one that carries others on your shoulders. You may be the one who is so used to lighting the way for others that you forget to light the way for yourself, or to ask for someone else to guide you, to help you, to soothe you, right? Because as carefree and as lighthearted as the comic is, there is also a sense of like sadness and melancholy there, because there is a sense of repressing your own emotions, repressing your own feelings. It's kind of like coinciding with what I was saying before, where I feel that you're the kind of person who doesn't really let themselves wallow, who doesn't really get sucked into their emotions, who doesn't let themselves get bogged down by their emotions, who just kind of gets on with it. And it's a very masculine, a very strong, a very like, again, warrior-like energy. But I feel like it's very important for you to know that it doesn't make you weak to have vulnerabilities, to have emotions, to have the need for support. It makes you human. So yeah, I feel like this is a very strong kind of, I don't want to say like a calling out moment, but it's just something that you may really want to take a look at and really want to pay closer attention to, because this part over here, where you are the stronghold for other people, where you are the guide, the person who shows what's right, what's wrong, who leads, that's something that you have got down very, very well. So yeah, that's a very important message I feel that had to come through. But before we close this reading, we also have 4 of these oracle cards over here. And these oracle cards are going to show us how you can best use your talents and your hidden gifts to benefit your own life and the lives of others. So let's see. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. It just, every single time the tarot and the oracle cards and spirit and my whole spiritual team, they never cease to amaze me. We have mending, which is exactly the type of like therapy consultant, something like that, or maybe even a doctor, or like something like that. Someone who really like wants to help other people, like that. That is coming through very strong with this mending card. We also have patience. Okay, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. What was I saying? Wow, we have forest, breath, and the last card, ooh, door to romance. Okay. So, as I said, these cards are showing us how you can best use your hidden gifts. So again, like straight off with these 3 cards coming out in a row here, again, you would be absolutely amazing at any kind of profession that you can think of that helps other people in some way, whether it's like physically or talking to them or like healing them in some other way. I feel like that would be something that you would be really, really, really good at. Because again, it's like, I love that we have patience and I love that we have breath, because this is again talking about this, your ability to like stay calm and like stay present with other people. You, again, it's like you have a very patient energy about you, where you can kind of like take a lot and you are very resilient. And also with this breath card, with this forest card, again, I'm getting the sense that you are kind of the calming force for other people, where you will allow other people to take a breather, to relax, to let their stress fall away. But I also kind of feel like you should really like use these same traits that you use to help other people. You should really like use them on yourself as well. Again, being patient with yourself, allowing yourself to take a breather every now and again, giving yourself the space and the time to recharge your batteries and to kind of feel your emotions and deal with them accordingly. So you might want to take up some kind of like spiritual practices if you haven't done that already. Like any kind of meditation practices would be really good for you. Like connecting to nature, grounding yourself, doing any kind of like rituals in that way where you would feel more connected to the earth and spirit. Whatever really works for you, it's up to you. But I feel like those would be very, very beneficial. And I'm also kind of getting that because of your like kind of practical nature that is coming through so strongly, you may want to do something with your hands, like actually like physically help someone with your hands. So again, like any kind of healing that you can do with hands, or again, for some of you, you might really like the idea of becoming a doctor, or you might be a doctor, but there's something about like healing and helping people. And actually, now that I think about it, even this door to romance is kind of speaking about like being a person whom other people turn to and expose their vulnerabilities and open their hearts up to you. So I kind of feel that basically all of these cards are pointing to the same things that we were already talking about. How you could best use these gifts, because again, it seems that your ability to listen and your ability to point out solutions to other people is something that you are very good at, and something that you could really use to help other people. But I also feel this element of self-love coming through here as well. So as I was saying, the same treatment that you give to other people, where you are there for other people, where you listen to other people, you yourself deserve the same treatment. So please don't forget about yourselves, okay? It's really, really, really important that you also pay attention to what you need, what your emotions are asking of you, and deal with that as well. Okay, but I'm going to leave it there because I feel like I have been talking for hours, and and this is only the first pile, so I have to get a move on. But thank you so much, pile number 1, for watching this reading. If this was your message, I would love it if you let me know somehow. You can leave me a comment, or you can give me a thumbs up, whatever works best for you. But yeah, if any of this resonated at all, if this gave you something to think about, or if it was something like, if any parts in the reading made you think about things, then I would love to know that this actually benefited you. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am truly wishing you the best, and I hope to see you guys in my other reading that is coming on my channel next, very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys chose the Fluorite stone, and before we get into the cards, I just wanted to tell you about the energy that I was feeling as I was shuffling and laying out the cards for the piles. So for your pile, all of the cards were like really concrete, the way that they kind of like plopped down, or like basically the way that I choose cards for each pile is that I kind of cut the deck and I let the deck fall as it will, so that it wouldn't be my hand choosing the card, but it would be Spirit who is choosing the right cards for each pile. And for your pile, it was so noticeable that I had to write it down for myself, that the cards that were like falling down for pile number 2 were just so concrete. It was like they were so sure of themselves that I just found it was something distinct, let's just say. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited about your reading, pile number 2. Now, the first thing we're going to start off with is this oracle card over here. And what this is going to tell us is what you are like as a person. What are some of your characteristics or your personality traits? And this is going to give us some more context into like what kind of person we are dealing with, but also this will help you discern whether this is in fact the right pile for you. So if the keywords that are coming through this card over here are not resonating with you, or you're not recognizing yourself from these descriptions, then it's likely not your pile, and that's okay. You can just go ahead and choose another pile, okay? So yeah, anyway, let's see. What is the, oh wow. We have hummingbird. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, I don't really get this card very often. I haven't really seen this card come out very much. The first thing that is coming to me is that you're someone who is very present, that being in the moment, being aware, like being very mindful and aware is something that comes more easily to you than for other people. You don't get distracted as easily as other people. You find it much more easy to be aware, I can't think of a better word, to constantly be aware of what is happening around you, like what kind of energies you are surrounded by. And I feel like that's also one of the reasons why the cards were so concrete, because sometimes like I do have to just say that it's not random how these cards come out, and sometimes the way that the cards do come out, it talks a lot about what kind of people I'm doing the reading for. So yeah, this feels like the concreteness was for a reason, because it's like exactly where you are, what is happening, what you are feeling, like you're very in touch with that, very in touch with being present. I'm also kind of getting the sense that you may be someone who is just very determined in general, like you know what it is that you want, you know why you are here, or what you want to do with your life. And even if it's like not a specific plan, even if you don't have like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan or something like that, even if you don't have all of your life organized, or even if you don't have like concrete answers for what it is exactly that you want to do, or what it is exactly that you want to kind of be, if we're talking about like work in a work sense or something like that, it's almost like there's this confidence about you. It's probably the best way to say this. I'm kind of getting this very confident energy. I want to make this super clear, especially if you are like watching that and thinking like, but I don't know what I want to do with my life, or I don't know who I want to be. It's absolutely fine that you don't know exactly. It's just that the energy that I'm getting here is that you just have this certainty in you that like tells you that maybe the things that people are pushing you towards, or that like societal norms are pushing you towards, are not the things that are right for you. And you just know that you want to do your own thing, whatever that thing is. And I feel like you're someone who is very resourceful at getting what it is that they want. Very resourceful at making things, situations, people, circumstances work for you, so that you could best kind of use that situation to your advantage and get what it is that you want. And it's not like in a manipulative sense. I don't want you to get like a negative vibe off of this, because I don't mean it in that way. I just mean that you're very resourceful, as I said. You're very, very resourceful. You know how to make the best of a situation. And I'm also kind of like, I'm almost like blinded by these rainbow colors over here. So I kind of get that you are someone who like attracts a lot of attention, or there's something that is very unique about you, something that is very distinct about you. Okay, I'm kind of getting the sense that you may be like a starseed or of some kind of galactic origin, if that's something that you resonate with. If it's not, then you don't have to pay that part any mind. But I truly am getting the sense that there is something that is kind of like out of the ordinary when it comes to you. And again, not in a bad way. I don't want you guys to be like insulted thinking that you're weird or something, even though weird is a very, very positive thing, at least in my opinion. But yeah, there's just something like you don't really fit the mold. It's almost like you don't really want to play by the usual rule book. You don't want to follow the masses, and you're not one to like follow a herd blindly, who just like goes about and does what everyone else is doing. I feel like you're very much driven by your own sense of purpose, and like wanting to do your own thing, wanting to leave your own mark, wanting to follow your own path. You may be someone who enjoys their own company more than the company of other people. You may like be very, very good with being with yourself, if that makes sense. Like it's not that you don't enjoy other people's company. I feel like you absolutely do, and you know how to like handle other people, how to deal with other people. But I just get the sense that you may be someone who, again, because you do kind of want to follow your own path, or you do want to kind of go your own way, you may prefer to be by yourself, or you really may really enjoy your own company. I'm kind of getting like this introvert vibe more so than anything else, more so than like an extrovert. I'm also getting the sense that you're really artistic. You may be someone who is a really good like painter, or you may draw very well, or yeah, there's something like artsy about you. You may be a really good dancer as well. But whatever the art form is for you that you enjoy, I feel like you have a very strong natural talent. Or you may be a really good singer as well. But it's something to do with art. But as I said, like the painting thing or the drawing thing is coming through the strongest. I'm kind of getting the sense that, as I said, it's like there's something very unique about you, that you don't really fit the mold. So I feel like you are kind of a free spirit. And whether you realize it or not, you are actually a huge inspiration for other people who maybe want to kind of do their own thing, but they may be too afraid to kind of stand out or to draw too much attention to them. But I feel like you don't really have that issue. It's like you know that you are quote unquote weird, and you are fine with that. Like you don't really care, you don't really mind. It's there is a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of confidence about you. It's almost like it's exuding outwards, and it's like you can even see it from the cards. It's like you have this aura around you that is just so bright and so vivid that everyone can see it. And whether you want to or not, I feel like you draw a lot of attention to yourself. But it's again because you are not afraid to stand out. It's because you're not afraid to differentiate from other people. And that is a very, very inspiring thing for others. But like on the inside, more than anything, you are a free soul who has come here to shine their light. And that's exactly what you're doing. Again, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you are shining your light. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure that you enjoy it all that much. I mean, maybe to some extent, but I am kind of getting the sense that you draw a lot of attention to yourself, and that other people like almost can't help but notice you. You may really have a difficult time blending in. Like even if you want to, even if you try, I feel like it's not happening. Because it's very clear that you came here to be exactly who you are, and to shine your very distinct, your very special, your very unique light. And it doesn't mean that you have to be like a wonder kid or some kind of genius or some kind of like I don't know, 1 in a million innovator or something like that. That doesn't have to be the case. It's just that your energy, your aura, your magnetism is very attractive to other people, and it's very noticeable to other people because it's special. It kind of like, it draws people in. It's like you have this X factor, I suppose, is another way to put it. You have this X factor that maybe people can't really put their finger on, like what it is exactly about you that draws them in. But I'm telling you, there is something. So yeah, I feel like attention is something that you, again, whether you like it or not, you draw a lot to yourself. But let's look at the tarot cards now. So if you resonated with the kind of the keywords and the traits that were coming through, if you recognize this, then this is clearly your pile. Okay, this just popped into my head right now. You may also be a very colorful dresser. You may be someone who dresses up in very like colorful, quirky ways, or you may express yourself like your physical appearance may be very out of the box, very creative, very creative. I feel like you kind of, it's not just your energy, but you like actually exude it almost entirely. And you may also be really like drawn towards like very non-mainstream artists, like music wise, non-mainstream bands or non-mainstream artists, singers, musicians, that kind of thing. Or it may be that the people or the artists that you really enjoy listening to or that you really resonate with and admire, they may be people who others haven't even heard of. So yeah, I don't know, there's just something quirky like that about you. But again, let's move on to the hidden talents that you have. So let's see, we have the 7 of coins. Ooh, interesting. We have the devil in reverse. Yeah, look at you again, breaking out of the mold. The 10 of cups in reverse and the 6 of wands. Wow. By the way, just out of the element, because this hummingbird card is representative of air element, and the first thing that popped into my head as I was like trying to tune into what kind of sign you may be, I got Aquarius. So yeah, the whole description that I was talking about actually really like well goes together with Aquarius in a way. So you may be an Aquarius, or you may be another air sign, so Gemini or Libra, you could be those as well. Or if they are not your sun sign, then you may have like a lot of air in your birth chart, or you may have very important placements in those signs. So take it as resonates. And even if you don't, that's fine as well. It's just wanted to point that out. I just before we get into this, I just want to give a kind of like a disclaimer, a small disclaimer again, that there may be things that come through this reading that you know or that you recognize within yourself, that it's not like complete news to you. And if that's the case, then it's just like a confirmation that that is something very special about you and that you should really appreciate that aspect in you, if it's something that you already know. So yeah, just bear in mind that this is not all going to be like groundbreaking stuff that you didn't realize about yourself before, okay? So yeah, but the first thing that is coming through these cards is that I don't think that you realize how big of an influencer you are to other people, how much you inspire others to like break the norms, break the traditions, break the kind of the usual way that everything has always been done. You're someone who really, again, as I said, you inspire people, and we're kind of getting the same confirmation here with the 6 of Wands. You are someone who inspires people, who other people look up to, whether you do it intentionally or not. That is not the point, because people look up to you. And again, whether you want that attention or not, it's coming to you either way, because you were born in this lifetime to shine and to be kind of the beacon of light in a way, or the beacon of color, I actually want to say, because again, it's like, it's not just light, but it's very distinctive. It's very, very unique and very creative. So yeah, you are the one to shine color on other people's lives. And I'm also now, because it's just funny to me, it just came to me, but with this hummingbird and with like being a leader or being some kind of like inspirational figure for others, I actually thought about the movie Hunger Games, like the main character Katniss Everdeen and her whole symbol of the mockingjay, which actually looks a lot like a hummingbird, even though I think it was like a made-up bird or something like that. I may be mistaken, but I think it was like a made-up bird for the novel series. But anyway, I kind of got the image of Katniss Everdeen. So if you haven't, I don't know whether there's anyone really out there who hasn't seen Hunger Games, but if you're one of those people who hasn't seen Hunger Games, I highly recommend that you watch it, because I feel like you would really resonate with the main character in those movies. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, is that you don't really even realize how much impact you truly have on other people. You may be so kind of, how should I say it? like you may be so focused on what it is that you're doing and like following where your light, where your color leads you, where you are drawn to. You may be just following your own path and doing your thing, and you may not even realize that as you are doing those things, as you are kind of focusing on your life and on your goals and on your like day-to-day activities, that, you know, at the same time as you're doing those things, you are actually this beacon of color to others, and you're actually inspiring others to like make huge changes in their lives, to question their own values, to question their own path, to question their own choices. And in so doing, like making them feel more bold, encouraging them to find their own passion, to find their own color in their life, and really follow that, really find out what that's all about, and how maybe this other path would be much more joyful, much more fulfilling for them than the path that they are on right now. I also feel like you don't even, like, whether you realize it or not, again, I feel like there may be some things that I'm talking about that you are very much aware of, but there may be some that you maybe haven't considered as deeply. So you may not realize how strong of an individual you are, like internally as well. How good you are at like battling your own demons, overcoming your own weaknesses, confronting your own fears and your own limitations, and breaking free of those. Because as like individualistic as you are, you're still human. So I'm pretty sure that you still have your own fears, and you have your own hesitations and your own kind of things to overcome, even if you don't let it show outwardly. I feel like there are still things that kind of that make you doubtful, that make you question yourself and your own intuition and all of that. But I feel like you are very, very powerful at handling those things yourself, like not really needing anyone to support you, or not really needing anyone to like show the answers, or to reveal the truth of the matter. You don't really need that kind of input from others, because you are so like in touch. As I said, it's like you're so present, you're so aware, you're so mindful of what is happening, that kind of extends to your own inner workings as well, that you're very good at like paying attention and noticing when you feel that something is wrong, when you feel that something is not quite as it should be with you. You're very good at handling those issues yourself. So it's almost like, this is going to sound so weird, but it's almost like you are the prisoner and the warden for yourself. And I know it's such a stupid example, and I'm sorry, but that's basic. That's the only thing that came to me. So yeah, it's crazy how self-reliant you are, and it actually kind of makes me jealous. But it's also, again, I feel like it's also one of the main reasons why people look up to you so much, is because you have this aura about you, as if you're like indestructible, or as if you are superhuman. Like you can just handle everything and anything. And you just almost like, it's like you breeze through life, and you always find a way out. You always find a creative solution to even the most complex problems. And it's like you don't even break a sweat, or at least that's how it looks to other people. Even if maybe on the inside you are like really struggling, even if you are breaking a sweat internally, like no one else can see that. I also feel like you're really good at discerning what is worth pursuing and what isn't. Like where true happiness lies for you. I kind of get the sense that you're not one to waste time, and you're not one to waste energy in places that like don't actually pay off in that sense, or that don't pay off this investment, that are not worth this investment. I feel like you're really good at knowing that, and again, like discerning where you put your energy, where you actually invest yourself into what is going to be fruitful for you and what is going to make you happy, whether this is like actually monetary or whether this is just like emotional fulfillment. And I feel like one of your like biggest gifts is your ability to be so emotionally strong and to have so much respect for what you truly desire, following that fearlessly, going after that fearlessly, and not getting sucked into any dark voids or any dark places within you that are full of fear or hesitation. I feel like the color and the light within you always overpowers that. So for some of you, I do feel inclined to say that if you don't exactly know what your passion is yet, then it could be that you would be really good at like working in any like scientific areas or like inventing things or coming up with new solutions. It might have like, I don't know why I'm also getting like IT, because I kind of feel that you have like these creative solutions, but maybe for some of you, like you can get creative with coding or softwares or something like that as well. I don't know. Please take it as it resonates. But yeah, I get the sense that that would be something that you would be really good at, like coming up with solutions, coming up with answers, coming up with innovative ideas to solve the problems that we are facing. And you may also be a really good life coach or some kind of like motivational speaker as well. That just came to me. So yeah, just again, these are just some of the the things that are coming to me that you would be really, really good at. So if you have already found like your life's passion or your life's work, so to say, that you want to follow, then that's absolutely, that's great. But if you are still looking or you still haven't quite figured out what it is that you want to do, then maybe some of those things like speak to you in some way. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you what I was sensing. But okay, let's look at these two archetypal cards now. So we're going to look at the two most strong archetypes that are present in you. One of them is something that you may very well be aware of, but the other one is something that you may not realize that is actually very prominent in you, or some kind of archetypal energy that you embody, and you may not be aware that you actually embody this so strongly. So let's see. We have the seed, okay, and the castle. Okay, interesting. So the seed is the archetypal energy that you most likely are aware of. Not necessarily, but most likely you are. And the castle is the archetypal energy that is very strongly present in you that you may not be aware that you possess. So with the seed card coming out over here, it's so minimalistic, yet it's so powerful. And I kind of feel like it sums you up really, really well in a way. It's like you may feel that you are just being you and that there's nothing like special or nothing complex about you, that you're just doing your thing, that you don't really want to overcomplicate things. But again, I look at this seed and I look at like this ripple effect that it is causing. And that's exactly what you're doing. Like, as I was saying before, and it's crazy how the cards like confirm these messages sometimes. It's like you are having such a huge impact on people. Like whatever idea or concept or thought or whatever you come up with, right? Whatever kind of nugget you generate, you have the ability to make it grow, to make it expand, to make it branch out and have this like huge impact. So I guess like that's why the inventiveness came through as well, or you like being some kind of innovator. Again, not necessarily, but it's just this like some kind of like something radical about you, which again is just like so kind of unique and so out of the box that it just impacts other people. It has a strong influence on other people. So in a way, it's like you plant seeds in others, and so they can kind of like grow. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm explaining it in the best way, but I hope that you kind of got what I mean. But the main thing is that you have a very big ripple effect, that you expand and enhance life by like being you, and by kind of showing or sharing your uniqueness with others as well. Planting seeds of inspiration, let's just say it like that. But with this castle card over here, I feel like you may not realize that you are actually kind of unapproachable. It's very hard for other people to actually connect with you, because I feel that there is a very strong barrier around you, a very strong protective bubble around you. It's like they can look at you, but they can't touch you. And I know it sounds so freaky in a way, and I'm sorry it's coming off that way, but it's like you are on display, but no one can really truly connect with you, or they can't truly like get to know the real you on a deep level, on a deep and personal level, because that aspect is being very closely guarded and very much walled off, where it's just like the shine is apparent to everyone else and everyone can marvel at the beauty of you, but it's like they don't have access to that beauty. They don't have access to you. You may not, it might be something that you don't even actually think about that much. You may not spend a lot of time thinking about, like, again, what other people think of you, or like your connections with other people. It might be kind of, how should I say? It might be kind of like second on your list of priorities, and the first being like your passion or your drive, again, your path, your uniqueness, right? The who you are and what you want to do, how you want to express yourself, like your career, or again, your passion might be at the forefront of your life, and other people like connections with other people, that might come like second. So, and it's not to say that like it's a bad thing, because I mean, clearly you have a purpose and you are here to fill out that purpose, but it's just something for you to be aware of. And I think that you are not quite as aware of it right now. You may think that you are more open than you are, or you may think that you're more welcoming to other people than you truly are. And I'm almost looking at this 6 of Wands over here as well, where it's exactly like you are on this horse, right? Because you are the guy that everyone else looks up to. But like everyone else is standing on the ground looking up at you. No one can really touch you because you are higher up. You're not on the same level as other people. So there is a certain isolation about you. Now, this is something for you to decide whether that's something that you want. If you want to be isolated and if you want to be untouchable, that is absolutely fine. No one says that there's anything wrong with that. But I feel like the reason why this card is coming out is because I don't think that everyone who chose this pile wants to be untouchable, wants to be like completely surrounded by your own little bubble, by your own little microcosm that no one else can come into. I feel that some of you may really want very deep and very, very meaningful connections with other people, but you just may not realize how difficult it is for others to actually connect with you. So if that's the case, if you do want to connect with others, but you may have, like, if you have been having trouble with like truly connecting with other people, or finding these like very loving, very sincere, very intimate relationships, then you might kind of want to consider like how protective of yourself you are, and how protective you are of your vulnerabilities and your true deep emotions, how walled off or how guarded you are. And you can kind of decide for yourself what the proper adjustments would be so that you could create these connections that you are after, so that you could let some people in who you want to let in. Because it's kind of funny as well how these cards came out, but like you see this hummingbird, and the hummingbird is so focused on this seed, on this thing, on this effect, on this mark on the world that this hummingbird wants to leave, right? There's something that I feel like your mission or your purpose is something quite grand, something quite meaningful. And I feel like you're so focused on this that you don't even realize that you are turning your back on everything else, everything that is outside of your little bubble. So yeah, there's something for you to be mindful of. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with like having your own little bubble and not allowing anyone in. If that's how you want things to be, then it's absolutely fine. But if it isn't, then this is just something for you to work on, okay? That's all it is. But we're going to close this reading off with these 4 oracle cards over here, and they are going to show us how you can best use your talents, use these gifts to benefit your own life and the life or the lives of others. So let's see. Okay, this is crazy. We have round and round, and I'm looking at this seed card, and it's the same thing. Okay, we have acceptance. Wow, we have love, compassion, and angel of strength. Okay, you know what? Sorry, I'm gonna move these a bit so that we could have, more room, so you could see the cards better. I didn't think of that in pile 1, so I kind of wish I did, but anyway, so you can see them better. They would be more on the screen. Okay, so the first thing that I have to point out is because I was just talking about this castle archetype, right? I spent quite a long time talking about how guarded you are. I'm looking at these 2 cards over here with acceptance and love and compassion. And I feel like the reason why these cards are here is because they are saying that it's something that would really benefit, again, your own life, but also the lives of others. Like you are such an enriching person. You're such a unique individual that other people would truly benefit so much from like being a part of your life, from being in your life on a more deep level, to connect with you, right, on a more deep level. And so I feel like it's something that would truly benefit others, but it would also really benefit you as well, and it would really improve your own kind of experience of life. Because as good as you are at doing your own thing and being focused at your mission or your purpose, you're still here to have a human experience. You're still here to experience life on a physical level. You could really amp things up in your life and really like have way more fun, enjoy life even more if you were to let those kinds of emotions in. Because with these cards, with this round and round and angel of strength, I see you being so kind of enveloped with being this beacon, right? Being this, again, almost like superhuman, where other people are marveling at your ability to handle things, handle life, handle complications, and come out of situations in flying colors. Clearly, your strength is something that, as I said, is very inspiring to others, and it's clearly a very important part of this reading because it keeps kind of popping up. But being strong on the outside, putting up a very brave front, is not the only way to be strong. Being loving and accepting, right? Being compassionate, being understanding. Those kinds of qualities are very big signs of strength as well. These are huge qualities of strength. I don't really know what else to say because I feel like I'm just going to start repeating myself way too much than is necessary. So I'm just going to leave it here, pile number 2. But I hope that the messages that came through, that they talk to you in some way, that they gave you something useful and that they were interesting, or that they made you think about some things in a different light. So yeah, if that's the case, I would really love it if you let me know in the comment section, or if you gave me a thumbs up, I would know that this resonated for you. And I would love it even more if you decided to stick around for future readings. So yeah, definitely don't forget to subscribe before you go. But if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope that you take very good care of yourself, okay? I hope to see you really soon in one of my next readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys chose the Apophyllite stone, which is a very special stone to me. I have a very, very personal and special relationship to it. So yeah, this is kind of a special one. And I also want to point out that as I was shuffling and laying out the cards, for some reason your pile was really magnetizing. It's like some of the cards were flying out of the deck as I was shuffling, and they were sliding towards the third pile. So yeah, something very, very powerful and something very attractive and very magnetizing was happening here. But we are going to look at your reading. So the first thing we're going to start off with is this Animal Spirit Oracle card, and we are going to have a look at what kind of person you are. What are your traits? What are your characteristics? You may resonate with all of them or most of them. It really depends, but if you resonate with the keywords that are coming through this card, then this is clearly your pile. So this is like a green light saying that yes, you're watching the right pile, and keep on watching. And if you don't resonate with these keywords, or you don't feel like this is talking about you, then that's absolutely okay. Just go ahead and choose another pile and see if maybe that one resonates better. But yeah, this is just a kind of first screening process, so that you wouldn't waste your time watching the whole reading when it's not actually yours. But let's see what we are dealing with here. Wow. Okay, we have Hawk. And as you can see, it is tied to the air element here. And the Apophyllite stone is a very spiritual stone, very, very much tied to the ethereal and all of the spiritual realm. So wow, the hawk, this is so powerful. Straight off, this is so powerful, and I absolutely realized why cards were flying towards this pile, why they were so magnetizing. Now, because of this air element, you may actually be an air sign, or you may have a lot of air in your chart. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, so you may be any one of those, or you may have a lot of their energy in your birth chart, or have some really important placements in those signs. But if not, that's absolutely fine as well. It's just what is coming through very strongly here. I'm getting the sense that there is a very weird contrast within you that is also really beneficial. It's like you are very good at spotting the details. You're very good at seeing things, like spotting things and noticing things. But at the same time, you have the ability to see things from a very high vantage point. It's like you have both the ability to kind of zoom in on the details when it's necessary, but you also have the ability to zoom out and to look at things on a broader scale. So I feel like you're someone who is very like intellectual. You may have a lot of like, your kind of superpower may lie in your brain. Let's just say it like that. I feel like you're someone who is very well spoken, who is able to express themselves very clearly. You can portray exactly what you want to portray to others. You may also be connected to more of the spiritual realm and the ethereal in general. You may feel more at home with like otherworldly things. This is a very specific message, so please take it as it resonates, but I feel that some of you may have the ability to astral travel as well. You can do things that maybe not everyone can. Okay, I just like, this image was like blurring through my head, where, you know, the screen that like coders use, programmers use, it's like a sequence of like numbers and code and stuff, and I kind of like saw that, and I feel like that's kind of what it is like in your brain, that there are constantly these like super rapid processes happening, and your mind is like flying in all of these different directions at like 100 miles an hour all the time. And you're very good at like managing things because your mind is just so quick, it's so fast paced. But I also feel that it may be difficult for you to resonate with other people or to find common ground with other people, because it's like, I feel like it's you're a very harsh critic of yourself as well. But I also feel that you hold other people up to really, really, really high standards that maybe most of the time they are not able to live up to. So I kind of get the sense that you may feel like let down by other people a lot, or you may be disappointed in other people a lot. And it's also, I feel like that's also one of the reasons why you find it so difficult to resonate with others or to find like truly like-minded people, because it's like they don't see what you see. They are not able to grasp situations the way that you are able to grasp situations. And I also feel like you're able to kind of see through any bullshit, like very, very clearly. I kind of feel like the Libra energy is coming through. So it's almost like when someone is trying to trick you or lie to you in some way, if someone is trying to pull one over you, you kind of see through that. I feel like you're also really good at like judging people in general, being like a very good, what's the term? A judge of character? Yeah, I feel like you're a very good judge of character, kind of seeing exactly what kind of people are like quote unquote good and what kind of people are quote unquote bad. And it's not that you can like, it's not that you actually like categorize them as good or bad, because it's like nothing is really that black and white. But I kind of feel like that you have this ability to like categorize and again like label things according to your own internal system, whether something is acceptable to you or it isn't. I feel like that's a better way to say it than like good or bad. You just have your own kind of system where you judge whether something is acceptable or whether something is not acceptable, and you're kind of very concrete about your decisions. I feel like you kind of come to them rather quickly. Like you don't need to spend a lot of time with people to see through them or to see who they really are. There's really like no hiding from you. It's like, it's almost like you have eyes at the back of your neck, or there's something like there's something kind of special or weird about you in that sense. And again, it's not like in a bad way, but it's just, again, it's like you have these abilities that other people don't. You might actually be a really good detective. I'm just putting that out straight off the bat. You might actually be a really good detective. Someone who like solves things, or I'm not exactly, again, I have to be very upfront that sometimes like my English, it has its limits. So yeah, I'm not always exactly sure what the right terms and expressions are, especially when it comes to like professions or some very, very specific fields. Then my vocabulary, sometimes it just struggles. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that you get the point. You may be really, like you would be really good at dealing with like criminal cases or just like any kind of like police work or detective work or something like that. Again, I will leave it up to you to decide how this part is resonating, but that's just something that came to me. Oh, and also you would be a really good analyst. I just wanted to point that out as well before we move on, because I heard analyst in my head. Okay, now let's look at the hidden talents that you have. So if you resonated with what I was saying during this part, if that sounded familiar to you, these cards are going to show us what your kind of more hidden gifts are. Now, I do also want to point it out that there may be things that come through these cards that you actually are aware of, that you know, but if you recognize these traits that I'm talking about, then it's just a confirmation from spirit to you that these are very important gifts and that you should pay attention to them. Okay, so we have the Five of Blades in reverse with the Two of Blades in reverse. Oh my god. And okay, we have the Magician and the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. Because I'm gonna put them over here.
Before we get into the hidden gifts, I also wanted to point something out about your kind of personality traits that just popped into my head. I'm also getting the sense that you are someone who takes a lot of time scanning over things and getting a very good overview of things before you actually act. I kind of feel like you may be more of a quiet person, or you are not like someone who necessarily talks a lot. I feel like you're someone who first thinks and then says and then acts. Like you don't just rush into things. You map out the ground first, you map out the situation first and the other players first. You may actually be a really good poker player as well. But anyway, it's just like you have this ability to map things out and get a very clear and a very distinct overview of things before you actually act upon any of the information that you have received. So yeah, it's like you are a very good data collector, and then analyzing that data for yourself before you actually use that. So I just wanted to point that out, because with this card coming out over here with the Magician, I feel like you are way more efficient at manifesting things than you realize. It's like, because you know exactly like what is happening, it's because you get this full overview of things and you make things very clear for yourself, and you're very focused and you don't really like muck around, especially if you have your eye on something. I feel like the things that you are after and the things that you are working towards maybe manifest more quickly than it does for other people, or then like manifestations happen for other people. So it's like sometimes you may even surprise yourself with like how quickly you are able to create something, or with how quickly some things that you are wanting to achieve actually happen. Because again, it's like you are somehow connected to this like ethereal space. There's something like, it's like your brain or your crown chakra, and like you're so tuned in, you're so connected, that it's just easier for you to kind of call about or bring about what it is that you want. And I feel like one of the things that you don't realize that is a true gift is that you are so powerful. Like your brain waves are so powerful at communicating and sending signals out to the ethers to bring them about in the physical realm. So you are a way stronger and a way more powerful conduit than you realize. Because especially with the High Priestess coming out in reverse over here, I'm getting the sense that you don't actually realize that you don't know how like spiritually like strong you are, how powerful you are. You may not be quite in touch with that aspect. I see you being very much in touch with your with the mental aspect, but maybe not so much with your senses, with your intuition, with those other insights that arise from your gut. But yeah, you are so powerful when it comes to making things happen and bringing things to life. And I also the reason why I was chuckling with these two cards is because it's like, of course you are going to get the air element. And again, it's just this huge confirmation that you are someone who's very strategic and very rational. So that's definitely one of your biggest gifts is your mind. Your ability to see things from all these different angles, from every aspect, even the aspects that other people miss, that they don't really notice. It's not something that everyone possesses. It's not something that everyone is capable of doing. So I feel like it's a true gift that, it clearly helps you, because again, I feel like you don't really have too many issues with creating solutions and making things happen for yourself. I get a lot of this very masculine energy where you just kind of handle stuff yourself and take matters into your own hands, and you're really, really good at handling things. But I feel like it's something that would also help a lot of other people. So like being a mediator or being some kind of consultant, or some kind of like specialist who deals with like coming up with solutions or solving problems or something like that. That may be something that you would be really good at as well. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of this mediator energy, where you are able to come up with solutions that is like a win-win to everyone involved, because of your ability to have such a full picture of the situation and of the facts that are involved. It's like you're able to see a way out, even if like things are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You are still able to see what could be done to come out of the situation in the best way for everyone involved. So basically, I kind of feel like the majority of the things that came out over here are things that you already know and that you're already aware of. Because again, it's like I kind of get the sense that everything that I'm telling you, you already know because of your very, very capable mind, and your like intellectual superpowers that you have. But basically, it was just this whole part feels like it was a very big confirmation for you that your mind can truly like be used in so many beneficial ways, because it truly is such a gift, and it is a very unique talent of yours, the way that you are able to use your mind, the way that you are able to put your mental acuteness to practical use and to actually create change. So the most hidden thing about this is that you probably don't realize how big of an impact this actually has, like your ability, how powerfully you are able to call things about and to create change. So let's look at these oracle cards as well. These are going to be giving us some insight into the archetypes, the two most strong archetypes within you. The first one is something that you are most likely aware of, but the second is something that you may not be aware of, that you are operating so strongly, so dominantly in. So let's see what we have. Okay, we have the fault line, and wow, we have the village. I also just want to point out, I'm not sure, like, well, I'm sure actually that you have noticed this, but I didn't actually even notice this before the village card came out. But like all of these cards are very like dark in colors, and this is as well. But then we have like this, some of this color coming through as well. So it's well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. But with the fault line being the like one of the strongest archetypes that you are operating in and that you are most likely aware of, I get the sense that you are very, like, you know exactly that you kind of, that you are the person who like handles very tricky situations, or that other people turn to your expertise, your like very profound knowledge about how to handle very delicate situations. And I kind of feel like it's almost like you are so used to living in a constant energy of stress or in a constant energy of pressure, where it's like the stakes are so high, or you feel that the stakes are so high, and you have to be on top form all the time, because otherwise everything is going to fall apart, everything is going to disintegrate. It's almost like you are constantly operating from a very high pressure or a very stressful point that is very taxing and very draining on your energy. But I don't know, it's like because you're so good at like handling these difficult energies, and you're so good at like walking the tightrope, you survive, you manage, you handle it. So even though I do have to point out that this is not necessarily like the healthiest way to operate, because again, it's like you do need this point of release at some point. You need to kind of blow off steam, and you need to unwind and get yourself out of this like very, very high stress energy. I can't remember how I started that sentence. But anyway, you kind of like, even though this is somewhere you are constantly operating in, I feel like you don't really give yourself a lot of time to actually release yourself of those stresses, to release yourself of those burdens that you're constantly carrying. So I feel like the reason why this specific archetype came out is because you are like constantly operating on the like the max, on the fault line. It's yeah, you may actually do something for a living that is very like high risk or very high stress, or where there is a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You may actually work in something like that. Oh, and the sun came out now as well. But yeah, it's like you could be doing something, but it's, in any case, it feels like this is a very prominent energy for you. So again, it's like this is like second nature to you. This is what you are used to. This is how you operate, because you can stay calm, you can stay rational, you can stay logical, and kind of still be able to navigate a way forward without everything coming crashing down around you in these very, very tense situations and energies. You are able to navigate those, so, you know, and keep a clear and level head. So that's why you kind of do it. And I feel like that's why other people like maybe at times push you in these situations as well, or you draw those kinds of situations to you. But with the village coming out as an archetype that you may not be aware of, that is very, very strong in you, I'm getting the sense that you may actually be operating like too much in your comfort zone. And even though, as I said, it's like, it's not the healthiest place to be in this, like constantly being surrounded by stress and like pressure, you know that it's not the healthiest thing. But at the same time, as I said, I feel that this is like second nature to you. This is an energy that you feel very much at home at, or at home in, because your mind is very well equipped to handle those kinds of situations. But I kind of feel like it's almost like you're playing it safe with that there is so much more that you could do with your mind. I kind of feel like there is a lot that you're not experiencing. Do you see all of this color that is behind this mountain? And do you see all of this color that is behind the hawk? As I said before, there is all of this, like, all of these deep, very serious colors. That's actually one keyword that popped into my head earlier and that I clearly forgot to say. I get the sense that you are someone who is rather serious, who like puts their head down and does the work and doesn't really like complain and like doesn't deal with the silly aspects of life. So this is very much a reflection of that your like serious nature, your like there's no fooling around, let's do what needs to be done, very like duty oriented, very responsibility oriented. Like that kind of energy is coming through very strongly. So I feel like the message here with this archetype that you may not realize that you're very strongly in is that you are depriving yourself of so much life, so much positivity, so much like amazing experiences, because you are staying in this seriousness, because you're staying in this stressful energy that you're so used to. You are taking so much on your plate that you are actually missing out on a lot of the things that make life worth living. So you may be someone who really like struggles with connections, with partnerships, with relationships. Again, as I said, I think, did I say it before? But I kind of got the sense that you may have a difficult time connecting with other people, because it's like you struggle with finding like-minded people. So you may be someone who is more lonely, who is like more of a hermit, or who just doesn't like socialize as much. Or even if you do socialize, I feel like you don't really maybe have too many like very close and very intimate relationships in your life. Because I kind of feel like there's no time. And whether, again, this whether this is something that you are aware of or that you are not aware of, you're so focused on like your duty and what you feel that you need to do, what you feel that you have to do, that that you're not allowing yourself to enjoy life to the fullest, to everything. You're not like allowing yourself to take everything that life has to offer. And again, it might be something that you don't even realize that you're doing. But I kind of feel that the reason why this card came out is to kind of let you know that, you know, hey, you know, take a step back, think for a second, consider like everything that you're doing, all of your responsibilities, everything that you are constantly working on and trying to solve and figure out. And maybe consider whether, you know, giving yourself a break every now and then, or like allowing yourself some special treatment, taking yourself to like a nice place that you haven't been in, or like doing some self-care basically is what I'm getting at. Whether that may be something that you want to do. Because I'm kind of getting the sense, pile number 3, that you're kind of missing out on life. And I mean, I know that right now, even though this reading is timeless, I know that right now we are still like very much suffering the consequences of Corona, and like not everyone is able to. I know that some places are more lenient like that, and you know, are able to go and hang out and socialize and do all of these things again, but there are still other places that are more strict. So, you know, even if you can't really like go out and socialize in that way, then there are still ways that you can connect with other people and give yourself time off, give yourself time to relax and unwind. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever you enjoy, whatever brings you happiness. I feel like that's something that you should really pay more attention to, because it's clear to me that you're kind of pushing yourself to the breaking point here with like trying to kind of stick to everything that you have to do and handle all the time. And you don't really allow yourself the time to play. You don't really allow yourself the time to have fun. And again, I kind of do get the sense that it may be because of your kind of connection to the ethereal realm, where it's almost like it may be difficult for you to resonate with like physical life in general, or you may feel almost like an alien at times, where you are much more connected to otherworldly things. But again, I do feel that you're missing out. So that's just something, again, for you to bear in mind, for you to be mindful of, because yeah, this is kind of an energy that you're operating in that you are most likely not aware of. So I don't want you waking up at one point and thinking, where did all of my time go, and why did I not like enjoy myself more? Why did I not allow myself to go and do this and explore that and go and like find out about this, or whatever it is, right? So yeah, this is just something for you to consider. But before we close this reading out, we also have these 4 oracle cards, and these are going to show us how you could best use your hidden gifts, your incredible mastermind that you have, to benefit your own life and to benefit the lives of others. So let's see. We have all that glitters. Yeah, here comes the discerning ability with nourishment. Oh my goodness. Iceberg submerged. This is so talking about you. I can't even. Oh my God. And look at that. The 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. This is insane. What was I saying before? I think I actually even mentioned your crown chakra, because I got the sense that you are so like intellectually connected, that your head and your mind is so connected to the ethers. Yeah, it's very clear that your connection to spirit and the divine and just like, again, this otherworldly dimensions, that this is something that you can really use to offer insight to others, and to also to use in your own life to create the kind of results that you are after. But yeah, I kind of get the sense with all that glitters that this is just talking about, again, how you are able to offer this very discerning, very critical very analytical, very strategic mind of yours. Like you're able to offer that kind of knowledge to others, and really guide people to where the money is, like how to best go about situations to get the result that would like be beneficial to all parties involved. And I'm even like looking at two of these masks. It's not just that one person is like benefiting, but it's that both are. And again, if anything is actually bullshit, if anything is masked up to be more than it truly is, you have the ability to spot that. You have the ability to see through that. Yeah, again, you may be a really good advisor, or you may be a very good consultant as well, helping other people make sense of things. But I do kind of feel with both of these cards, with this nourishment and this submerged, I do feel that there is a lot of you that you are kind of keeping hidden, a lot of you that you are suppressing, and a lot of these amazing experiences and there's like self-care that you're not allowing yourself to have, that you're not providing for yourself. That there is a lot of like needs that are being unmet because you are so focused on dealing with all of these issues and solving all of these problems. So I feel like these two cards more than anything are talking about like how you could benefit your own life, how you could really better the quality of your own life. And that's how you could put your mind to better use, not just focus on like solving problems, but like how to make yourself feel good, how to enjoy life. What are the like the best points of life? Like what is there to really enjoy and to experience? There is so much that you haven't tapped into yet. There is so much that you haven't experienced yet, right? You only see this top part of the iceberg, but as we know, generally the mother lode is all submerged beneath the surface. So, and it's funny as well that we're getting like these icebergs that look like mountains. They're very rugged and very like edgy, and then we have this tower, well, not this tower, but this mountain here as well. And again, it's like there is so much hidden that you haven't tapped into yet, that if you were to really explore, if you were to dig deeper, if you were to really like tap into your deeper senses, again with this high priestess that came out in reverse, there's so much in you that you could explore, especially when it comes to your emotional side, that would enrich your life so much that, you know, if you were to really dive deep into that and to kind of tap out of your brain for a bit, let it kind of cool off, get it, you know, give it some time to just rest and relax and to just be, I feel like you would discover some really cool things, and you would really like offer the soul nourishment that you are lacking right now. But besides that, I truly feel that you are doing like such an amazing job with your superpower, with your super powerful brain and your analytical skills, that you could truly like, again, offer the kind of insight and the answers that other people may not really even be able to come up with. So yeah, wow, this was such a cool reading. I'm gonna leave it here, pile number 3, because again, I feel like otherwise I'm just gonna start repeating myself over and over and over. So let's just draw the line here. But I hope that this reading was beneficial. I hope that this resonated and that it made you, you know, consider some things, or that it gave you something to think about, and especially this part, right, that we were talking about. So if this was yours, I would really love it if you let me know somehow. You can give me a thumbs up, you can leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. But really anything that you can do to let me know that this was your story and that it helped you, I would love it. But this was so fascinating, and yeah, honestly, it's like, I don't know whether you're some kind of academic or whether you're some kind of like brilliant mastermind. But yeah, this is pretty epic. So again, I hope that this helped and that it gave you some more clarity. And I would love it if you decided to subscribe and stick around for future readings. But if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then please take good care of yourselves, and I'm sending you guys so much love and light. I hope to see you very soon in my next readings as well, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 4. You guys chose the rose quartz stone, and yeah, this is your reading. Let's get straight into it. So the first card that we're going to start off with is this oracle card over here. So this is going to tell us a bit about who you are as a person, or what you are like as a person. We're going to look at some characteristics, some traits that describe you, and this is going to do a twofold thing. So first, it's going to help you kind of go through this like initial screening process in a way, or it will help you discern whether this is your pile or not. If you are resonating with the keywords coming through, then this is clearly your pile. But if you are not really resonating with the descriptions coming through, then it's absolutely okay. You can just go ahead and pick another pile. But yeah, it is also going to just give us some more context and a better idea of what it is that we are dealing with. So let's look at who you are. Okay, wow, this is so, I don't know why I'm not actually surprised. We have Gazelle. Yeah, especially with the rose quartz as well, not surprising that this is the energy that is coming through. Even though this represents fire, this is so Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. You may be one of those signs, or you may have a lot of those kind of like characteristics in your birth chart. You may have a lot of fire in your birth chart, or you may have very important placements like your sun, moon, or your rising in those signs. But I can see that you are someone who is very attractive, very, very sexy, very alluring. There is some kind of like, there's this like quiet attraction that I'm getting, where you don't even have to do too much, and people are just like falling for you. it's I feel like there are a lot of qualities about you that other people really marvel, or other people really admire. And at the same time, I kind of feel like you don't really see yourself like that at all. Or I kind of get more of a humble vibe, which is so bizarre because normally I don't really get that with this card. But with you, pile number 4, I'm getting that you, like, it's not to say that you don't realize or that you don't know that you are beautiful and that you are sexy or attractive or those kinds of things. Clearly you see yourself every day. I feel like you know exactly what you look like, but it's not like you find that it's something like very spectacular, or that you should be very full of yourself because of it. It's like, again, as I said, quiet attraction. It's like I feel like that's part of why people are so drawn to you, is because you are not the cocky, the look at me, I'm so special kind of vibe. You're more like, I'm just sitting here doing my thing and looking all glamorous. And people are like, oh my God, yeah, look at her, or look at him. It's very attractive. And at the same time, I kind of also feel that you, as I was saying before, like you may be a fire sign, but I don't really get too much of a fiery nature here. I get more of like a watery energy, more like feminine. And again, we're just talking about energy, so it doesn't matter whether you are male or female, or however you identify yourself as. It's all about the energy. And I'm getting very, very feminine, very alluring, very attractive energy, where it's like, again, you pull people towards you. You don't have to go out and chase. People come to you. And I also feel that there's something like very majestic about you. It's almost like you give off this vibe of like royalty, or someone who is like very high born, or something like that. And regardless of whether you actually were like born into some kind of like specific status. I feel like you just have this kind of demeanor. You just have these mannerisms about you that make you look very elegant and very poised. I feel like you're also someone who likes to kind of like listen and observe and pay attention to other people and everything that is happening around them. Like, again, it's like you're not the one who walks into a room and then announces to everyone that they have arrived. You don't need to do that. You don't need to call out for attention because you draw attention to yourself anyway. So it's like you walk into a room and you start observing, you start paying attention to how people are behaving, who is talking to who, what the atmosphere is like, all of those things. I feel like you are you're very good at sensing things that are happening around you. I feel like that's also the reason why I'm getting so much watery energy. And you may actually have like very prominent water signs in your chart, or you may have a lot of like watery energy in your birth chart. That would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But yeah, it's like, I feel like you're very good at sensing things, very good at sensing energies, very good at sensing like atmospheres and sensing like what other people are like and what other people are feeling, what other people like, what kind of energy they are in. And I feel like it gives you a lot of advantages, and they are the kind of advantages that people don't know that you have. So a lot of the times people may underestimate you. They may think that you are this like gullible, sweet, innocent, very pure and like fragile little thing. But in truth, I feel like there is this fierceness in you that doesn't really translate outside of you, because again, it's like you have this very calm and very soothing demeanor, very elegant and very well like composed demeanor, and people like look at you and they think that you're this pretty thing or this handsome thing, and they don't really realize all of the things that are actually going on within you and all of the knowledge and the insight that you possess. But I feel like you kind of know how to use that to your advantage. The fact that people do underestimate you, or that they kind of label you as this one like, or this very one-sided, they put you in this very singular, I'm not sure what the right word is, but they put you in this like singular box and kind of label you as something that they think that you are. And I don't feel like you're someone who is like resisting or who is grasping and like trying to prove to everyone that they are not what people think they are. You kind of have a way more clever way of going about it, or a way more clever method of going about it, where again, it's not like, I don't get a lot of noise, I don't get a lot of like, you don't put on like bells and go out and announce to everyone what you are truly like, or what you truly know and all of that. You just kind of, you let other people think what they will, and you kind of operate in more quiet ways, I suppose. There's something so elegant about you, honestly. I don't know that I can say it in any better way, because I feel like you know exactly how to use your benefits, or the traits that you have to your benefit. And you may actually even enjoy fooling other people. You may actually like enjoy the moment when they realize that there is so much more to you than they first thought. Like when you actually talk to someone, or when you actually open up about what you truly are like, or who you truly are. Because I don't think that you like intentionally conceal that. I don't think that you want to like trick anyone, but it's just that it's more so that when other people misjudge you, and when other people think that they have it all figured out just by the way that you look, you don't start proving anyone wrong. You don't start like acting out and reacting to their judgments or anything like that. You just kind of like keep to yourself, and when the moment comes, or when someone like actually approaches you or talks to you, that's when you show your true self, when you are the way that you are, and that's when you truly like dazzle people. So again, it's like you have this quiet attraction. You have this instant attraction about you where people are drawn to you because of how you look and because of how composed you are, or how you, like, just your mannerisms, and yeah, just your manners in general. Like I feel like that's what, like, people are so allured by. But when they actually talk to you and when they actually get to know you, that's like when they're just goners, because there is a lot of like this inner beauty, this inner attraction to you as well that is just undeniable. So yeah, I'm kind of getting that you are some kind of like femme fatale almost, but again, not in like in a negative way. It's just that you have this kind of quality about you if you're a woman. And I don't know what the equivalent is for a male. Is it like Don Juan or something? Possibly. But anyway, that's the kind of energy that I'm getting. So if you are resonating with what I was saying, if you're resonating with these keywords, then keep on watching. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and we're going to look at your hidden gifts in a minute. But I just want to give you a quick disclaimer that most likely the messages coming through here are going to be things that you know as well to some extent. And if they are some things that you already know, that you're already aware of, then this is just like a very big confirmation for you that these are very special and important gifts for you to utilize in this lifetime, or for you to use. So yeah, not all of these things that are going to come through are most likely going to be like groundbreaking things, but hopefully some of these things that are coming through are things that you may not have realized that are actually gifts about you. So let's see. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. Oh, we have the universe, the world, sorry. Yeah, it's the world in reverse. The 7 of Wands. Oh, and the Hermit. Wow. Okay. I feel like a gift that you may not realize that you have is that you are way more self-reliant and way more independent than you realize. You have a lot of inner strength, a lot of resilience to kind of stand on your own 2 feet, to follow your own path, be confident and not get swayed by other people's opinions and by other people's expectations. And yeah, I get the sense that you are way stronger than you actually realize. And I feel like this quietude that I'm getting about you, where it's like you're not actively trying to seek attention or trying to seek other people's approval or validation or anything like that. I feel like it's also a huge gift for you, because it allows you to not get distracted by the things that are actually not important at all when it comes to your own personal fulfillment and your own like joy in this life. And I kind of do get the sense that you may have other people tell you what they think that you should do. Like you may encounter that a lot, where other people are either they are like telling you or giving you advice that you haven't asked for, or they are trying to make you reconsider your decisions, or trying to like talk you out of some instances, some decisions, some situations, because they think that something else would be better for you. You may have like that kind of thing happen to you a lot, where people like question your ability to make the best choices for yourself, or again, it's like where other people like underestimate you, so they think that they know better what you need than you do. You may even have like, I'm kind of getting a message that other people may feel like you are wasting your looks, or you're wasting the your appearance by like how should I say it? This feels more of a specific message, but honestly, like I just got the message that other people may be telling you that you are letting your good looks or your appearance go to waste by like not utilizing it in a way that broadcasts it more widely. Or I get the sense that you're not someone who like wants to actively put yourself out there, that you would much more prefer to lead a more quiet and reserved life, and it might produce some like some like outburst from other people where they are pushing back on that decision, or where they think that you are making a mistake or something like that, and they may be trying to convince you otherwise. But I feel like your kind of calmness and your ability to kind of observe and not get hung up on things, not get sucked into these like external energies, that is a huge gift. Because again, it's like, it's keeping you away from the situations that would only be a distraction for you, and that wouldn't really bring you the emotional fulfillment that you are actually after anyway. It would just put you through like these different situations and make you jump through hoops that you don't really want to jump through. So it's like, with you having this quiet assurance, with you having this quiet knowing, and again, being so in tune with your senses, feeling exactly what it is that is the right thing for you, and making your way forward based on like very methodical and very aware manner. I'm forgetting my words. But yeah, anyway, with you like making your way forward in that way, it's actually taking you a lot further. It's actually benefiting you much more and allowing you to actually move towards what it is that you truly want. You may be able to understand the lessons in the situations that turn out disappointing for you, or that are like kind of sucky circumstances, that are difficult circumstances, or that challenge you or that challenge other people. I feel like you know how to find the lesson in that, how to go beyond the like initial response or the initial emotion of like, oh, this sucks, or oh, this is so unfair, or why am I the one who has to go through this? Whether this is talking about yourself or whether this is talking about other people, right? I feel like you are able to look past that, and you're able to see like the true point of why something had to be gone through, why something had to be experienced. And again, whether it's in your own life or whether it's for other people, I kind of get the sense that you may be like a terrific best friend to someone, or you may be a terrific like sibling or parent if you have children. There is just a lot of there's just a very, very sweet and very gentle and very understanding and compassionate energy here that I'm getting with you. And that is truly like a true superpower, because I feel like the support that you're able to give on an emotional level is like something else. And I feel like it's again tied to the fact that you're able to feel so deeply, that you're able to sense other energies. You may actually be an empath, because I get the sense that you can feel things. You truly feel them. So that might actually be something that you should be kind of careful of as well, to like not allow yourself to get too deeply enveloped in other people's energy, and to not get too involved in other people's energy and other people's situations and problems, because they may start affecting you as well, because you are so receptive to outside energies, because you feel them so deeply. But again, that's also like part of your superpower, right? That's what makes you such a terrific friend and such a terrific supporter. If you have like a romantic partner, then like something tells me that you are a super sweet and a really loving and nurturing boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse, or whatever kind of romantic connection you are in, if you are in one. But looking at these cards, it's ridiculous that people underestimate you so. But I feel like it's easy to do that because they are so distracted by your outside appearance. But they have no clue what is going on inside. Oh my God, they don't have a clue. And once they get to know you, it's like they don't know what hit them. So yeah, I kind of feel like at times you may even have to like push people away in a bit, or like put up boundaries, establish boundaries, so that you could like protect yourself. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of see whether there's anything else that I'm picking up on or from these cards, but I don't really think that I am. So yeah, it's just, I just feel like your kind of self-reliance, your determination, and like your empathy, those are like some of the things that you should be really, really proud of and really grateful for, because I feel like they are going to help you a lot to realize your goals and to lead the life that you want to lead. But moving on from these hidden gifts, we are going to look at some archetypal energies as well. These two archetypes are going to give us an idea about the two most strong archetypal influences that you are operating in right now. The first one is going to show us the archetype, the strongest archetype in you that you are most likely aware of. But the second one is going to show us the archetype that, or the archetypal energy that you are most dominantly in, or that is most dominant in your life, that you may not be aware of. Okay? So let's see what we can find out. Oh, look at that! Oh my god, this is the gem. Yeah, so this is the archetypal energy that you are most likely aware of. And as I said, I very strongly feel that you know exactly how you look like, and you know exactly that other people are drawn to you because of your appearance and because of your appeal. But let's see what you don't realize. Oh wow, the poet. Oh my god, this is probably this is one of my favorite archetypes in this archetype card, or this archetype deck. The poet. This is amazing. Yeah, so okay. So let's quickly talk about the archetype that you are aware of, because I feel like I don't really have to talk about it too much because we already covered this. You know that you shine. You know that you have this allure, that you have this magnetism about you that attracts other people. You're very aware of that. And clearly you are like this gem. You are special. There's no denying that. You are someone who just, if you are put into a crowd, like, you are someone who is just easily spotted. You just easily stand out. I'm kind of getting like somewhat similar vibes with pile 2, but at the same time it's very, very different. But if you did also feel called towards pile number 2, then you may want to watch that one as well. But yeah, there is no denying that you are very, very attractive and that you pull a lot of people towards you. So this is kind of like, this is no surprise that you look good on the outside, but that you also have a lot of value on the inside. Not surprising. But with this poet over here, I feel like there is actually a lot more depth in you that maybe even you yourself don't realize that you have. It's kind of a confirmation about this Hermit card as well, because the Hermit is like, he's the one who dives deep, right, to find the answers that he knows are there, that he knows are within him. And I feel like there may be a lot more answers hidden in you than you know. You may need to open up more to let that depth out of you, because I feel like even on this card, you see how this gem is surrounded by this, whatever it is. It looks like hay, but it's whatever it is. It's like surrounded. It's almost like secluded in a way. It's like you know that there is a lot that you are not revealing about you. Again, we get this like quiet attitude is like popping into my head, but it's not attitude. It's like quiet nature. This quiet nature about you. And I feel clearly you know that you are like that. Clearly you know that you are not the one who like goes out and shouts to people, right? Look at me, look at me. We already talked about that. But I'm kind of getting the sense here that it needs to be shared more. It needs to be let out more, because like there's something about you and your inner workings, your inner depth, that is very much like hidden within you, that you're very much kind of keeping hush hush, that has the power to like release something in other people as well, to call forth some kind of bigger effect. It's interesting that we're getting like these circular symbols in all of these. It's like, yeah, it's like you are hiding your true magic. Like you're keeping it very much secret, and like only if someone takes the time to actually get to know you, that's when they can finally see it. But like other than that, I feel like you're not sharing it, you're not letting it out. But the truth is that you have something very profound, something very meaningful to share with other people. But I don't think that you're doing it right now. Or you may not realize how much your true colors would actually benefit others, how much that could make a change. So it's, as I said, it's very funny that for this pile we're getting this archetypal energy in a somewhat different way. Because for all of the other piles, there has been like more of an energy of that the archetype that has shown up in this position has kind of revealed stuff that maybe the other piles didn't know that they were doing to themselves. But this feels more like external, because everything over here feels very much like you are living all of these things on the inside. I hope I'm making sense. I hope that I'm able to like make you understand what I'm trying to say, because I feel like I'm struggling so much at expressing myself clearly. So yeah, it's like everything, all of this is happening internally, most of it, and like people only see the outside, and it's beautiful, but they don't know, they don't even realize the full extent of this. They have no clue. So what you need to be aware of is that your words, your beauty, your depth, your inner depth that you are so much like keeping under wraps, that you are protecting, this beauty that you are protecting, this insight, this specialty that you have, that the thing that makes you you, your internal uniqueness, it needs to come out, because that would have a way more powerful effect than you realize. So yeah, that's the best way that I can say it. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop trying to word it in a better way, because I clearly am not able to. But yeah, just know that your words are way more powerful than you know. Your depth is way more powerful and way more profound than you know. And it needs to come out, is kind of what I'm getting from this message. Okay, but yeah, basically we are closing this reading off with 4 oracle cards, and these oracle cards are going to show us how you can best use your talents and your gifts to benefit yourself and other people. So let's see. Oh my goodness, we have new life. Wow, we have discernment. Okay, look at that. We have lake stillness. What was I talking about with like quiet and all of that? Okay, and healer of the ages. Yeah, so I actually love that this card came out, because I kind of feel like it's not that you haven't like expressed yourself, and it's not that, again, it's not that you are like hiding yourself intentionally, maybe to some extent, but it's like you are expressing yourself, but it's like it's in like little snippets. There is so much more of you that is not being let out, that is not being expressed, that would truly help guide and help heal other people. It's interesting that you're getting this healer of the ages, and you're getting this hermit card, because the hermit is also a healer. So you may actually be a healer, or you may be really good at healing, or you may have, like, again, because of the poet, you may be very artistic. But I kind of feel like, again, because it's specifically the poet, I feel like there's something about words. It's something about like verbal expression when it comes to you that is really important. I actually am getting a lot of like Virgo energy. So you may be a Virgo, or you may be a Gemini as well, just because we're getting this like expression with words energy. But you don't have to be. Again, I'm just pointing out the signs, just so that just in case they mean something to someone. But yeah, your words, I feel like they have a specific significance, and there may be something very, very special about, again, like about your inner world and putting that into some form of expression that would really talk to people, that people could really resonate with, and that would really inspire people. I feel like what your superpower, what your superpower is to make people feel more at peace, is to make people feel like they are not alone, to take away their like anxiety, if they truly were to get to know the real you more, like the aspect of you that is so sensitive and so compassionate and so understanding, the aspect of you that has all of this emotional depth, right? I feel like that's like your true, like your most important gift, I should say. That is your most important gift. And it would allow people to find some kind of resolution, or to find hope. I just looked at the monitor, and it said 1110, so 111. That may be a significant number for you. But yeah, it's like, honestly, I'm kind of looking at all of these cards, and I feel like they are basically solely talking about how your specialness or your special qualities could improve the life of other people. How opening up and sharing your beautiful inner world, your sensitive, very artistic, very poetic inner world, how that would help people kind of like find new angles to their own lives, or like find some kind of new meaning, or find some kind of new inspiration to turn their lives around. Because again, there's like, you have this ability to heal other people. And even like with this new life, I feel like this is probably like the only card that I'm feeling is really talking about like you in a way as well. Because by like opening up more about your inner traits, about your specialness, you could really like open up this whole new aspect of life for yourself as well, where you're kind of more free to be who you truly are. Because I do get the sense that you may feel like more comfortable letting people think what they think of you, and you just doing your own thing. But again, I kind of get the sense that there is this boldness that you could really benefit from, and that would open up like really cool new doors for you. I think I'm going to leave it here, pile number 4, because this was such a beautiful reading, like truly beautiful. And you seem to have a very healing and stunning energy about you, both outside and inside. But the inside part just kind of needs to come out a bit more. It's basically all that I'm going to say. But yeah, this was, wow, this felt very multifaceted, and like this gem, right? This felt very multifaceted and very, like there are a lot of different layers to this. But I hope that the keywords that you needed to get and the key messages that resonated with you the most, that you got those. If you did, then I would love it if you let me know somehow. You can leave me a comment, or you can give me a thumbs up. I would love to hear your feedback somehow and know that this helped you. Also, I would love it if you subscribed and decided to hang around for the future readings. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then thank you again so much, pile number 4, for spending this time with me and for letting me read for you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I truly do hope to see you very soon in my next reading. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.